Alright, you bastards, this is Some-Belgian-prepper, and today we're going to make manure briquets. And the thing is, why would you make that? Well, first of all, it's a way to save money, because you got your animals that you use, in my case chickens and guinea pigs, but you got manure for them. So one way to get rid of the manure for my guinea pigs is to reuse them into manure briquettes that I can use as a fuel for my wood stove. So I can create heat to cook, to heat up my home. So that also saves a lot of money. I'm rid of the manure that I don't use in my garden as a fertilizer. So this is nothing but benefit to make, and also saves on electricity or gas or whatever it is you use to heat up your home or to cook. And you also don't need wood. And I live on my property is a very small size, and I cannot grow trees enough to cut off the branches every year to shorten them up. I use that as a firewood. So it is an alternative way of fuel, because in countries where they don't have that much trees or forest, they have to use animal dung as a source of fuel for to cook food. The first thing you need to know about manure briquettes is the the type of manure you're going to use. Always use from herbivores, from plant eaters. So no, not from chickens, not from uh, carnivores, because they don't have fibers in their manure that will help burn it. So that's one thing that you cannot use. You can use something like from cow, in my case from guinea pigs, horse. Anything that is grass fed is usually good, because they have to uh, chew it and digest it very slowly, very long, and there will always be leftover fibers, and the manure itself will be a good burning fuel. Yes. So how we're going to make it, I will show you from begin to end, and I will show you how long it will one brick of manure briquettes can burn. So before we start, I want to show you something. If you're interested in the detective stories, there will be a link to my books called Bloody Crosses and The Jason Murders. So it's in Dutch. If you're interested in detective stories, this is a series that I have made on. Look in the description for the link. So, what do you need? First, you need manure. I got manure from my guinea pigs. As you can see, it's not only the manure itself, like the droppings that they have, but it is also the fibers in their droppings and also the hay from their enclosures and their cages. So yeah, that is a very good burning material in that regard. In my personal opinion, better than only cow dung, because now I also got the straw, leftover straw, that I can reuse as it. The second thing you need is a bucket to put where you're going to do the mixture. It's like when you're making concrete, and you need water. I use rainwater, so yet again, it will cost me not much. Gonna fill up the bucket. You need a press. I will show you in a minute how this will work. And the way that I did it before, I had this commercial press to use it. And what I also want to say is, you can also do this with paper. You can use paper mache also as a sort of fuel bricks, but it can smoke a little bit harder. So we got a bucket, we got the manure. We're going to mix it up a little with our little trowel. We will mix up. And why do we have to mix it up? Well, because you want it very compact. The more compact, the more material, the more efficient your your manure briquette will burn. So you have to really get it together, and also that there is not much vacuum, not vacuum, but open spaces within the manure, because you will have I will show you in a minute how to press it really close together. It is perhaps a little bit of a nasty work, but it is work, it is in a way exercise, and it keeps you busy, and it gives, perhaps you can let your children do it to make them to give them some responsibility tasks, and also to make them a little bit more, to train their immune system. So we got a very squishy made of manure. So now we're going to use the briquets. I will perhaps put it over so you can see it. Hopefully it will not fall out. So, you know what? I will first show you how I did it before. Before, I had this plastic bucket. I made holes in the underside so all the moisture from the manure could drain away, and also it dried better. So I would take the mixed up manure with water, put it here in, and I would put a brick on top of it, and that brick, the weight of the brick would press it down, and the moisture would leap out from beneath it and a little bit from the sides, and that way it will be dry enough to take it out and let it dry in the air. But now I got something better to make it to quicken the process. This is a press. You can also use it to make paper mache. You open it up, you first take the press out. Inside you will have this thing, you leave this in, and then you take the manure. This, yeah, you take the manure that is very wet and squishy, and you fill it up. And what I like to do is, whenever you put it inside, you press it a little bit harder with your shovel, trowel I will call it. I don't know the English name for it. So that there is already some compression going on. I always try to go from till it's reaching the top, even when it's compressed. And then if you need more, you can just make some more manure inside of the water that is left over. Don't worry if it's too wet. The wetter it is, the better. Giggity giggity. I couldn't help it. Alright, so we now got the manure inside of the press. Now we take the upside, and you see it's full of holes. That's so that the moisture can leave out. Perhaps I will show it here. Then you can cross these, and this will press on top of it and push it down. And I don't know if you can see it, but the moisture will leave it. I always like to put it on the side so the moisture will be optimized getting away. Getting a few presses. If you go too deep and you have the feeling that it's not compressed enough, just take the top bit out, do a little bit more manure inside of it, and try pressing again. In this case it is very compressed. Here we go. Now we can take top half. Then we can take this part, and now you have this. This is now all compressed, and what you want to do next is, I will first put the camera on the drying spot, because this is, in my opinion, very important. Let me put it here. Take these away so you can see it. So, because this is a bendy, as you can see, this is a bendy material, you can just put it somewhere where you can dry. I do it on this metal raster. I open it up and I can just take it off. As you can see, this is very bendy. And the reason why I let it dry here first is because I want to first to dry it. Yeah, I want to dry it first here, because if you do it in a place where it's dry, like in inside, it will draw in flies and that kind of stuff when it's wet, You don't want that, so that's the reason why I always leave it outside a little bit first. As you can see, these has been dried already. These are solid bricks of manure. Have it inside light enough. I will show you where whenever the outside is dried, because it can take a long time before it's drying. The outside of this may appear very dry, but the inside is still moister. And you don't want that, because otherwise you will not have an efficient burning time. You will get moisture, it will perhaps go even out. So this needs to be dry as possible. I will show you where I take it inside when the outside has been dried enough and no more flies are being drawn to it. So this is where the guinea pigs are. I don't know if the light of the camera will allow it, but these are my drying racks. My drying, how do you say this? Compartments. Yeah, it's a little bit too dark underneath it, because here is some sunlight. The camera does not pick it up on that side. But what I do is I take some of this metal mesh wire, then I put bricks on top of it, mesh wire, bricks on top of it, and that way it can dry from every side in, and it have enough space to evaporate the moisture without getting back into the others that are on the sides and on top. So that way it can fully dry out from the inside. It takes about, I would say, when it's really dry, a little bit average weather, like it's warm, the warmer it is and less and more dry, the better it will be. So this is something that you can do all year long. All year you can just every week perhaps do like 10 or 20 fuel bricks, and you will have fuel for the winter time in your stove. And if you think this smells, it does not smell, because manure that is fully dried out, it does not smell. And to prove it, as you can see, this is one of those dried fuel bricks. It smells like nothing. And if you think that it will smell when it burns, it has a sort of, not a bad odor, it's more like a specific odor, but it's nothing that when you burn it in your wood stove that it's annoying. It just hits a little bit different. It smells like fresh mowed grass that is a little bit drier. That's the way that it smells when you burn this. But now it smells neutral. So everyone would say it will draw in flies. No, not if you dry the outside first. Second, it will smell of the insides of the house. No, when it's fully dried out, it's not a smell, so you can leave it next to your wood stove inside of your living room or something. And I will take one of these bricks that are fully dried out. I try to do a system where the bricks beneath it are the most dried and they go up. The reason why is if there is moisture going up, it's going in the one that are still drying. So that way you can keep a sort of system where it keeps on drying and you know which one are the most dried. Or you can break one open, but yeah, what's the fun in that? So I will show you now how, for a test, how to light it up and how long it will take. By the magic of editing, I will show you this in my wood stove. So we are here at my wood stove, and you need something to start a fire, because you cannot just take the brick, put a fire on the sides, or it has to be really dried and really fibrous like this. But you know what? Let's try that out to show you that it will not work as good as you might think to start, because I always use a handful of wood to start it up, and for the moment you get a fire starting and this is starting to burn like coal, you can just keep stacking another one of manure fuel bricks on top of it. As you can see, it started smoldering, but it's not really doing anything. So you need certainly a lot of heat to do it. But like I said, the moment you have your fire, you just you can just put it on top of it and keep stacking the fuel bricks. So if you can see, this is the amount of firewood that I use. This is just to start the fire up. These two bricks on the side, not bricks, but these two bigger pieces of wood on the side, I use them so I can put the manure brick on top of them, and there is a gap beneath it. There is more air flowing through, and that will help the initial starting of the smoldering of the brick. So let's start the fire in the next scene, by the way. So I started the fire. It's on the two blocks, so there is, whenever this is fully burned up, the underside will be lit on, and it will from beneath going upstairs. And if there is still some moisture left, you will see that there is a lot of smoke. But here you can see there is almost no smoke, because if it would still be wet, this would all be full of smoke. So let's see how long it will burn. I will come back whenever for a test. Usually it burns to 3/4 of an hour to 1 full hour, or even more, depending on the size of the brick. But these bricks are all the same size, and let's see how well it will do within 3/4 of an hour. Alright, so I've been waiting for 3/4 of an hour, so it's like 45 minutes. Let's see how well we're doing right here. That's still hot. Let's see if we got some. Oh yeah, we still got some coals. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's still burning like a coal. Oh, it's even on fire. As you can see, there is still even flames. If you blow a little bit air inside of it, now it's only on this amount of air, so still very hot, slow burning. We still got, actually, I would say 3/4 of the brick still left. So yeah, that is after 45 minutes. So when it's an hour over 50 minutes, I will come back, test again to see how well it works. But I want to add one more thing that I have forgotten to say. As you see, it is it's more like smoldering heat instead of burning, unless you put really oxygen inside of it. So if you put a blower or one of those air pumps with it and work it then you get more heat from it, and that can be handier for if you want higher temperature for cooking. Now it's more for like keeping it warm, keeping the heat on for winter time. So if you would put manure briquette on top of it and keep doing this slow burning, you can keep it all night warm here. I'm already sweating right here. But what I also want to say is, if you want more heat, I would say if you got one of those wood stoves, take the lid off. So whatever it's a pot or a pan that you have direct, this one fits right into this. So then you have direct flames and heat towards what you're cooking, like a pot, pan, or whatever, and there will not be smoke getting around. And what I told you earlier about the smell, even I'm surprised with this brick that I don't have that special smell, or else I've been used to by doing it so many times. So yeah, I would say for one brick for 45 minutes with only a handful of wood as a starter, and now I can just keep building it up that way. Yeah, it was a very good investment, I would say, and it costs perhaps a little bit of time, a little bit of how do you say this, time and effort, but it's something that you can, if you have a family, you can let people do it in certain patterns or times or turns to make bricks, and that way you can build up during the summertime enough bricks to last for the winter time. So yeah, I'm coming back when it's 1 hour, and then we'll see again, and we'll keep doing that to see how long we will have heat from this one manure briquette. All right, so we are here with 1 hour and 10 minutes, and it's still As you can see, there is still some cooling left, but as you can see now it's mostly ash. There are still some pockets left, but now we're done, and it's still really really hot. So an hour 10 minutes with one brick. So yeah, I find that very good. So what should we do with the ashes right now? So we got all these burnt manure ashes, and it actually behaves a little bit like wood ash, and because of all the nitrogen that has been burned off, now it's actually more like potassium and phosphorus that's inside. So it's a good top dressing for your soil, and it can be used as a pH. How do you say this? pH as an alkalite for acidic soil to make it more alkalite. So that could be handy if you want certain crops or your soil is too acidic. So that's something that you can do with it. I would say look it up on how to do it, because you still need to measure it in your own soil, so you don't make it too alkaline, because that could be bad for other crops. So if you still burning this and you have used it all up in your garden, what can you do with it? I would say just throw it away. You can do it perhaps on the roads. I have here grid road, so it does not matter if you put it there, and yeah, that way there is only this much left, and we got this. We got the guinea pigs cages clean. We got this amount, the whole lot of manure burned with heat. That will save some electricity, heat, wood, that kind of stuff. We have fertilizer for the garden, and yeah, we saved a lot of money with a little bit of effort. So it's like creating a vicious circle for your self-reliant plan as a prepper for your homesteading. All right, I'm done now. So if you got perhaps any more other tips, leave it in the comments. Look into the description for my my books. And one more thing perhaps I want to say is be carefully if you're going to handle it, because burning manure can release some smoke that could be bad for your health. So make sure that whatever you do, don't fully inhale the smoke, is what I'm trying to say. Like, subscribe, all the good stuff, and see you in the next video. Cheers!